All right, folks, I reported a few weeks ago that Donald Trump offered John Fetterman a straight up bribe to switch parties and join up with the Republicans because they are panicking about what's going to happen in the midterms. They're on the verge of losing their Senate majority, and Fetterman seems poised to bail them out of that mess. Here he is on Fox News with Laura Trump, literally talking openly about whether or not he should switch parties now.
Is America, the government workers, and our reputation.
Well, I will say on behalf of many Republicans out there, I think we would love to have you as part of the Republican Party. I'm just throwing it out there, Senator.
I don't know if they would want me or not, but my whole family is a Republican, and I think they love me.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
You know, maybe my dad's watching it. Well, but overall, you know, my criticism directed is at the extreme. And in my view, indefensible kinds of views, things. People that are winning the primaries, they are almost always anti-Israel and then anti-American. And they've been forced to delete all the outlandish things that they've said there.
All right, folks, I don't know if you know this, but John Fetterman is the senator from Pennsylvania. He's not the senator from Tel Aviv. So I don't know why a Democratic candidate winning a primary in New York City should impact whether or not he's a member of the Democratic Party. But let's be clear about a couple things. This guy is a terrible United States senator. He basically has no staff. He has no campaign staff. He has no constituent services. I don't think he's ever introduced a piece of legislation. I don't think I've ever seen him give a floor speech. He is a functionally useless human being. Now, Republicans like Laura Trump are going to say, we want you to join the Republican Party. We would love to have you. Yeah, because you're a mark, dude. You are an absolute loser. They are playing you like a fiddle. Here's what's happening right now. The Republicans are looking at apocalyptic polling heading into November. It looks very clear. They're going to lose North Carolina. I think they're going to lose Maine. I think they're going to lose Ohio, Iowa, Alaska. They might lose Texas. They might lose Nebraska. Montana looks like it's in play. People are talking about Mississippi. Now, that doesn't mean those things are going to happen, but they're in a situation where we could go from a 53-47 Republican Senate to the reverse, a 53-47. Or if it's close, let's say Democrats get 51 Senate seats. That's only flipping 4 of these races while holding on to Georgia and Michigan. Then suddenly, Democrats have a 1-seat majority that ends Donald Trump's second term. He's not going to be able to appoint anybody to the Supreme Court unless somebody switches sides. Or even worse, Fetterman decides to stay in the Democratic Senate caucus, but still vote for all of Trump's nominees, as he's basically done now. So I've been saying for a long time, Democrats have to act as if this guy has already left our party. He's not a member of our party. The only thing that he does is to go on Fox News and bitch and moan about how much he hates Democrats who win primaries in states that aren't even his. Okay? You can feel however you want about Israel. Okay? I've told you guys my feelings on that, but it should not be the defining characteristic of whether or not you're a Democrat, especially when your job is to deliver for the people of Pennsylvania. You campaigned as a progressive populist outsider. Where's that guy? It was all a lie, like a lot of us thought that it was. Now, I want to show you some of the reactions the Democrats are having. The first up is Congressman Brendan Boyle from Pennsylvania. From Congressman Boyle, I have to congratulate Senator Dave McCormick at Fox News. Give credit where credit is due. They are playing him like a fiddle. We all know how this movie ends. It's as obvious to everyone. And that's right. He's echoing my sentiments here exactly. This has already happened. John Fetterman has already left the Democratic Party. They're going to wait for the most inopportune and embarrassing moment to roll that out so they can hurt whatever Democrats are doing, either to make it so that they can appoint more Supreme Court justice from Donald Trump or hurt us legislatively or whatever it might be. That's what they're going to do. It's already in the books. Fetterman has accepted the bribe from Donald Trump, period. And here's a comment from Chuck Schumer that came shortly after these comments. Chuck Schumer wants Senator Fetterman to remain a Democrat. Yes, Schumer said when asked if he wants Fetterman to stay in the party, calling him, quote, a very good member of Congress, and adding Democrats are a big tent with room for different views. And I have zero problem with this statement from Chuck. I know that some people are going to rag on Chuck Schumer. I get it, but I don't think that's right. His job is to try to keep this caucus together. And if you look at the math, it is hard for Democrats to build a Senate majority. I don't blame him for wanting wanting John Fetterman to stay. But let's be clear about it and let's be crystal-eyed about it. This is already happening. Okay, I don't expect Senator Schumer to admit that out loud, but I think they know, and it's part of the thing. Here's something that Chuck Schumer's done really well, and I know people have a lot of criticisms for the man. That's fine. You feel however you want about it, but they've been able to do a lot of great recruitment out there to put a lot of Senate races in play in this moment where we can actually have an opportunity to build the Fetterman-proof Senate majority that I believe we have to end Donald Trump's second term. And just to show you what I'm talking about here, there's a bunch of new polling from Fox News, high quality, A+ polling, really good stuff. Fox News has an incredible polling outfit that is nonpartisan and does a really good job. In Georgia, we're up 13 with John Ossoff. In North Carolina, we're up 9 with Roy Cooper. We're up +8 in Ohio with Sherrod Brown. We're up +4 with Turek in Iowa. Again, we're also up in Alaska. New York Times has a poll, has us up in Texas right now. And a lot of these races, I want people to understand this, is it's one thing when you see a poll and you get a lot of these like PPP polls that come out. No knock on PPP. They do good work. But you get these polls and it's like the Democrats leading by 4 and it's 46 to 42%. And like that's not a majority. So it's usually not enough. A lot of these high quality polls have Democrats leading above 50% with the voting population that's expected in November, which tells you that we actually have a shot. In Texas in particular, I don't think there was ever a poll that really showed Beto O'Rourke in a position above 50% over Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz, for the most part, was always ahead. The race closed really late, and Cruz only won by about 2%. Tallarico's right now in the lead. At this point, my expectation would be, based on the public information that we have, Tallarico should be considered a slight favorite to win. Now, we all have PTSD about that, so like let's keep doing the work and run through the brick wall. But again, the numbers here are tough. It's really difficult for Democrats to build a Senate majority without winning a state like Alaska or a state like Texas. We've got to do something like that, especially when we have a member of our own caucus in John Fetterman who's looking for the right opportune moment to betray everything that he said he stood for. And on that point, I want to add more thing before I go to something else here, which is about Fetterman's popularity in his state. Is the thing about Fetterman that pisses me off is it's one thing if you're Joe Manchin and you campaign as a moderate Democrat and you say, I'm a conservative and blah, 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 I'm going to go fight for these things. And you go to Washington and you act that way. Okay. Like Manchin pissed me off every single day that he was the United States Senator. He said things and took votes that made me want to pull my hair out, but that's how he campaigned. And I'd rather have him than not have him. Fetterman's the exact opposite. Fetterman campaigned as a progressive. He rode Bernie Sanders' movement. He rode the progressive movement to victory. And now he acts like John Fetterman. He acts like Joe Manchin. And it's just, I fundamentally, and I know people blame it on the stroke. Okay, fine. Maybe that's a little bit of it. I just think he's been playing us like idiots for a long time. And I didn't work for Fetterman. I worked for somebody else in that primary. I didn't really trust that guy. He's always just seemed a bit fake to me, but it's mind-boggling. And again, the math is tough here. So that's why Chuck Schumer wants him to stay. I mean, I guess I want him to stay if he's going to keep voting with us, but like, it seems like the cake is baked here. And folks, just to show you the situation that Fetterman finds himself in back at home, so you understand the decisions that he's trying to make politically to the extent he can think those things through. This is from Truth Out. Fetterman is so unpopular that he loses to, quote, someone else by 18 points. Nearly 60% of respondents say they'd go for anyone other than him if the Senate race were today. And I won't read you through every aspect of this article or this poll, but I will summarize the problem that John Fetterman finds himself in. He's not going to be in the United States Senate beyond the next couple of years. When his term is up, he's done. Maybe he'll run, and maybe he'll run as an independent, or maybe he'll still be a Democrat. He might switch to the Republican side. I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. I assume that he's already gone, and we should act like it. But he is deeply unpopular with Democrats. There's no way he could win a Democratic primary. He's not popular enough with Republicans to be able to win a primary, and independent voters hate the guy. Because for the last 4 years, he's done absolutely jack shit for the people of Pennsylvania. He just spends all of his time going on Fox News complaining about how Democrats aren't pro-Israel enough, which is ridiculous to me. He's the senator from Pennsylvania. I don't know why so many of these different members of Congress, outside of the money that they get, have to like act as if Israel should be their first priority. It just drives me absolutely crazy. That doesn't mean I hate the people of Israel or like I'm anti-Semitic or anything like that, but it's bizarre that we're putting the needs of another country before our own. That doesn't feel right to me. And the way they talk about it feels psychopathic to me. All right. It's crazy. But Fetterman really has no political future now. He's not going to be a United States Senator. Maybe he'll run some crazy kamikaze presidential campaign, which I've heard rumors of before, but he doesn't have the staff in place to do it. He also, by the way, can't raise money anymore. His online fundraising ecosystem has been demolished. His fundraising firm fired him, is based on what I'm to understand. And beyond all of that, the only way he can raise money right now is through a joint fundraising action he set up with his Republican counterpart on the Senate side. That's what the bribe for Trump is Trump promising to pay for his reelection campaign. And I'm sure that Fetterman's going to dip plenty of money into his own back pocket for this. So this guy is toast. And I think what he's doing is he's setting himself up to be a massive MAGA influencer in whatever the next iteration of American politics are going to be. When Fetterman is out of office, he's going to be a daily mainstay, even more than he is now, on Fox News, shitting over Democrats. That's what Joe Manchin is now. Joe Manchin is on Fox News every day. And by the way, they never put any of these guys on with somebody that might actually push back against them. Okay, they only bring these Democrats on solo, one-on-one, so they can shit on the party. They don't bring on somebody to push back against them. Drives me nuts. I'd love a crack at debating Fetterman. I'd run circles around him. I'll have a crack at debating Joe Manchin too. He said some stuff that pisses me off. I mean, this whole thing is just the perfect example of how corrupt it is. And just to put a fine point towards the end of this, as we're thinking about the Senate map here, yeah, I get Chuck Schumer saying he wants Fetterman to stay. I understand that. We need 52 seats minimum. Minimum. That means we have to win 5 races in November, okay? North Carolina, Maine, Iowa, Alaska, Ohio, Texas is an opportunity, okay? Montana, Nebraska, Mississippi are the other ones that are out there. Maybe we've got some shots. I don't know, but we got to be trying and going big. People are really upset right now. I think we have a chance to have a wave year that will shock even the people that think we have a wave year coming. I think the polling is real bad for the GOP right now, and they're acting like it. But that's what this is about. They're trying to save their Senate majority because they've been arrogant enough to not have anybody retire for the Supreme Court in the last year and a half. That's really what it's about. And they want that. And Fetterman will betray us at the time that it will hurt us the most. So be prepared for that. Gird your loins, as I've heard it said. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful for you guys. I know I'm on the road right now, so these videos are probably not as tight as I'd like them to be. But I appreciate your guys' patience with me. Do me a favor, make sure that you're subscribed down below. Please engage with the video, like, share, comment, hype, everything else, and then click the bell icon down below to get an update the next time we post. Thank you.